And he gets doubly cursed when he's turned into a donkey.
Oh yeah, double curse. Oh, that donkey curse is fucked up because they were sinning and having fun. They were chewing tobacco and playing pool. The most
There's
cursed
nothing
of all
wrong
table
with
games.
those things.
Tell that to Geppetto, the author of Pinocchio. Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Balding.
I am Roger Norquist.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroco Foods presents Supernatural Grocers, a box of ghost veggies sent to your house every week on the week. Just open it up and let the ghost veggies rush into your fridge with a terrifying, chilly, asparagus-scented wind. It may seem empty, but it is not. Supernatural Grocers by Monstroco Foods. What the fuck? It's an empty box. It looks like an empty box, but what it actually is the ghost of vegetables that have already been eaten.
Yeah, it's the spirit of hope. That's what you find in every empty box.
The spirit of nutrition.
Think of what could be there. Despair not your rumbling tummy, and consider this the bangarang.
That was almost their slogan, but instead they went with Supernatural Grocers. That whole thing is that's the slogan.
Either way, I signed up for 6 months.
Yeah, we each got. You signed up.
I signed up. I was like, please take my money.
I pre-quit.
Ooh, nice. I saw about that. I saw that pre-quitting program they have.
Yeah, it only costs double.
Yeah, I was worried because that said that it may years of your life may be forfeit.
Yeah, the years that I would be hungry.
Yeah, nice. See, this is why I come to Nate when Nate is a very shrewd and keen shopper. A lot of shoppers' acumen there.
He knows how to live.
Knows how to live and how to get those good deals.
Hey, I don't leave the house without a pocket full of granola, baby.
Guys, can I start? I got some crazy shit.
Please get in there.
All right.
Crazy shit, huh?
So I was reading an interview from Mystery Wire by the one George Knapp.
Oh, right.
Okay. K-N-A-P-P, right?
And
George
he, in
Knapp.
2019, the before time, he did an interview with one Richard Doty. Do you know who that is?
He was the guy who did the voice for Elmo, right?
Maybe for a short time. I don't think that's relevant for this case.
Okay.
No, he's not actually. That's a different person.
Kevin Nash is who I'm thinking of, the wrestler.
So Richard Doty is a real life Man in Black.
What?
So
okay, if this is one of those fucking twisting like bait and switch things where it's like he wore a leather jacket, I'll be pretty pissed off.
No, he does Johnny Cash in front of Man's Chinese Theater.
No.
No, it's worse than I thought.
So if you're familiar with Men in Black, they are people who wear suits, normally all black, very little facial features, and they go around and typically harass UFO witnesses or abductees.
It is typically thought that
I don't even know if it's harassment because it seems like they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I guess so. They're kind of jerks to people a lot. Basically,
they are, but like they're doing shit like eating batteries and
they don't see some accounts,
people why they're wearing clothes and
some accounts,
and that's
a lot of them. They seem like they're not human or pretending to be human. And it should be mentioned that these guys generally show up in the kind of wake of a sighting or to ask questions about a possible encounter. They kind of present themselves as being from some amorphous government agency. And kind of rely on that to just get people to answer questions. And then people will start being like, wait a minute, who are you guys? And they're like, we have to go. I have human class later. I mean, nothing.
And this is a case of Men in Black that falls into the actual government agency. There was an actual government agency that was sending agents out to interact with UFO enthusiasts, UFO witnesses.
That's fun.
And straight up Men in Black shit. I got this from...
Nobody interacted with me.
Well, that's fine. I'll interact with you.
I'll
wear all the black you need.
Whatever.
I have a mask. I have a full suit. I'll be totally black for you, man.
Well, you're not allowed to do blackface anymore.
Truly, I would like you to call me Mr. Gimp, but it's a black suit.
All right, well.
If you want, me and Roger can rat you out to the government. They'll send somebody.
This is from
I don't want this
the
anymore.
Guardian. This is from theguardian.com. And it is written by
Mayor LaGuardian.
and it is written by no one. I can't find the author. It is titled The Real Men in Black, Hollywood and the Great UFO Cover-Up.
Wow. Quite a title already.
Hidden among the avalanche of documents leaked by Edward Snowden were images from a PowerPoint presentation by the GCHQ entitled "The Art of Deception: Training for a New Generation of Online Covert Operations."
Whoa.
Images include camouflage moths, inflatable tanks, women in burqas.
Camouflage moths?
Yes, camouflaged moths. Sorry, these are hidden moths.
Yeah.
Complex.
Why do they need moths? Or is moth like a type of device or something?
This is beyond your security clearance, Nate. Okay?
Let's read on.
Complex diagrams plastered with jargon, buzzwords, and slogans such as disruption operational playbook, swap the real for the false, and vice versa.
NFT.
Hold AMC.
People who make decisions as part of groups, and beneath a shot of hands shuffling a deck of cards, we want to build cyber magicians.
Whoa, cyber magicians.
Now,
I want to build those too, frankly. I support the government's cyber magician program.
In all of this nonsense, there's also various documents about UFOs, specifically 3 photographs that were fake.
Oh, okay.
One was a hubcap. You might be familiar with that, thrown into the sky to look like a flying saucer.
Yes.
Another was a bunch of balloons, and one that turned out to be a seagull.
I think you're going to say another was a bunch of baloney.
All of these are the work of one Richard Doty.
Oh.
Who created these photographs as a form of disinformation or misinformation. Either way.
I guess disinformation, if he's intentionally doing it.
In his work with UFO enthusiasts, specifically, and I'm trying to find his name, there it is, Paul Benowitz. And if you want a lot of information about this article is in response to a wonderful documentary that I watched called Mirage Men, which is about Richard Doty as a person, his work, and the tragedy which we are going to go over.
Wow.
Indeed.
Hit us.
Okay. So if there is really a UFO conspiracy, it is surely the worst kept secret in history.
Funny.
Roswell, Area 51, flashing lights, little green men, abductions. It's all been fed through the pop culture mill to the point of fatigue. Even the supposed enforcers of the secret, the Men in Black, have their own movie franchise.
That's true. That's a good point.
But a new documentary, Mirage Men, unearths compelling evidence that UFO folklore was actually fabricated by the U.S. government. Rather
They
than
wanted everyone to
covering
have
up-
something to do.
Look,
rather
you're all just have too much time on your hands, okay? Everybody's masturbating and getting divorces. Nobody smokes anymore.
It's part of Roosevelt's New Deal.
Rather than covering up the existence of aliens, could it be that the real conspiracy has been persuading us to believe in them?
Whoa, damn,
Bum,
the
bum,
greatest trick
bum.
the devil ever played was a 360 pop shove it. I believe that is a joke by a Denver comedian whose name I can't remember.
Sean McCormick used
Oh
to do
yeah,
that.
remember that guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
he
he
did.
has a family now.
Good for him.
he does.
He got out.
Yeah.
He's alive.
He made it.
Attaboy.
So Mirage Men's chief coup is to land an actual man in black, a former Air Force Special Investigations officer.
gonna
named
land me a man in
Richard-
black tonight. I'm gonna go out there and get me a real Agent D, if you know. what I
And they
mean.
did. They got a Air Force Special Investigations officer named Richard Doty, who
Okay.
admits to having infiltrated UFO circles.
Look, yeah, I've been on a couple of UFOs. It wasn't me who broke the toilet in there, if that's what you're wondering.
UFO researchers say Doty had this wonderful way to sell it. He would say, I'm with the government. You cooperate with us, and I'm going to tell you what the government really knows about UFOs. Deep down in the vaults.
Double agent.
Genius.
Right? Like, first of all, if anyone came to, I think, any three of us and did that, we would be hooked.
Yep.
Yeah,
once again, just putting it out there, we are for sale. We are for sale. You can purchase us.
We're trying to keep this ad free.
Mm-hmm.
So government, if you're willing to buy us, please just give us $1 million Patreon donation.
$1 million Patreon donation, and then tell us any old bollocks you want us to tell the people.
We'll repeat it.
We'll repeat it. We will make fun of it because that is our way.
That's our thing.
Yeah,
But we'll tell
we'll be
them.
one of those. We'll be like all of your other false flags,
Mhm.
like Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And
Alex
Joe
Jones.
False flag.
Rogan.
Tucker Carlson.
Living false flag.
Soy-based foods.
Lying false flag.
Mhm.
So
Nail polish.
pretty false flag. Doty and his colleagues fed credulous UFOologists lies and half-truths. That's right. There was a whole agency of men in black going around to
Damn.
UFO circles
Damn, that sucks.
in the
man.
80s.
Just
telling
hyping them up.
half-truths, hyping up shit. Everything we know
They got our
is
asses.
probably the creation of this team.
Because we were too credulous.
Knowing their fertile imaginations, the UFOologist would do the rest. In return, they were apprised of chatter from the community, thus alerting the military when anyone was getting too close to their top secret technology. And if the Soviets thought the U.S. was communing with aliens, all the better.
I mean, that is our go-to move with the Soviets for basically the entire Cold War was, oh, we'll make them think that we're doing this, and then they'll start doing it. Then we'll steal that from them.
We did it with
Did it with MK Ultra.
Yeah, MK Ultra. They had
We did it with the space race.
Yep, we did it with a lot. It was a lot of back and forth. You know what they did though?
Collapsed.
Boom! It only took capitalism 40 more years. So the classic case, well known to conspiracy aficionados, is of Paul Benowitz, a successful electronics entrepreneur in New Mexico. In 1979, Benowitz started seeing strange lights in the sky and picking up weird transmissions on his amateur radio equipment. The fact he lived just across the road from Kirtland Air Force Base should have set alarm bells ringing, but Benowitz was convinced these phenomenon were of extraterrestrial origin. Now,
This has
being
got-
a good...
This has got real this has got real like local farmer freaks out, shoots at moon vibes.
Yeah.
But this is successful
It
electronics
wasn't all
entrepreneur.
there yesterday.
It keeps
What's going
changing.
on?
It keeps
Like this-
changing. That's a different one.
This was someone who supposedly knew what was going on. Like he was an
Yeah.
electronics expert. It doesn't
Yeah.
truly say that, but I infer it. Like he's an
But I
entrepreneur in
believe it.
electronics.
Doesn't
He
say
had
that
he
anywhere.
made millions of dollars from his electronic business. Plus,
Yeah.
he was an airport
I dig it, I
a
dig it.
pilot, I believe.
He was dating 600 truckers via ham radio. He must have been an electronics genius.
Credible source.
Being a good patriot, he contacted the Air Force, who realized that far from eavesdropping on ET, Benowitz was inadvertently eavesdropping on them.
Whoa.
Instead of making him stop, Doty and other officers from the Secret Intelligence Office
Hilarious.
told Benowitz that they were interested in his findings.
Whoa. I would have
That
started like sitcom style, like saying things into the radio that I needed him to do. Take all of your cookies and put them on the porch.
So that encouraged Benowitz to dig deeper. Within a few years, he was interpreting alien languages, spotting crashed alien
Crazy.
craft from the
Wow.
hills, and seeing them from his plane while flying.
Wow.
And he started sounding the alert for a full-scale invasion.
Whoa.
At what point is
pressed
this
him too
just
hard.
a Department Interior prank show?
At this point, it goes beyond to where, like, all right, you should have stopped. Like this,
Yeah.
why continue on?
You're ruining this man's life. His wife has left him. Please stop.
It gets to that point, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
maybe a little bit worse.
Oh God, she comes back and leaves again.
So they gave Benowitz computer software that
Mhm.
interpreted the signals and even dumped fake props for him to
Okay.
discover.
All right. Wow. This is a full-on troll. Holy
Jesus.
fuck.
In
This is
1988,
not cool.
it is not. In 1988, the family checked him into a psychiatric facility.
No, guys, look what you did.
Yeah.
Now here's the
this
question.
This is truly the story about how the government's Men in Black made a man go insane.
Is this now here's the question. Is this what we're doing to people?
No, because we truly believe that there are
That the truth
a
is out
Bigfoot out
there.
there. The truth
Okay.
is out there.
Okay.
We don't know. Like, first of all, this is if what would be we're so far from doing this. I can't even like draw
Yeah.
a connection to us doing this in the future.
I can. There is a podcast called Mysterious Universe that I used to listen to, and they said some pretty fucked up shit at the start of the pandemic that was like borderline conspiracy stuff. That I was like, okay, and I we might want to bleep that name out, but just for legal reasons. But I don't know. That's
They know what
happened.
they did.
That is what happened. So.
And we have a entertainment lawyer who needs more retainer to deal with that problem in the future.
I'm really just narrating. It's kind of what happened.
So
the thing about our entertainment lawyer, though, when we say entertainment, that means we're paying an actor to be a lawyer.
to
Yeah.
play a lawyer.
More of a clown, really. We say actor,
Yeah.
more of a birthday clown. But he is entertaining.
There's
Very
plenty more like this, as Mirage Men discovers. Central tenets of UFO belief turned out to be of far earthlier origins. Mysterious cattle mutilations of the 1970s New Mexico turn out to have been officials furtively investigating radiation in livestock after they've conducted an ill-advised experiment in underground nuclear fracking.
Wow. What a
Test
sentence.
pilots for the military's experimental silent helicopters admit to attaching flashlights to their craft to fool civilians.
Guys, get in here. Did you tie flashlights to your black helicopters and pretend like you were UFOs again to scare the kids at down hanging out at the ice cream parlor?
Doty also admits to having a hand in supposedly leaking the classified documents known as the Majestic 12 dossier.
Ah, yes.
Spilling the beans on a secret alien liaison committee founded by President Truman.
Mm-hmm.
He denies involvement in the Project Serpo papers, however, which claim that the 12 American military personnel paid a secret visit to an alien planet in the Zeta Reticuli system.
Whoa.
Only to have been caught out as the source of the presumed hoax.
Wow.
So he lied about it, and then it turned out he was one of the main people.
What a bozo.
What a dipshit. When he was so ingrained in the UFO community that when he came out and admitted what he was doing, he got so pariahed, and now he's on Ancient Aliens. Like, it's such a weird story, Richard Doty.
Crazy.
And it's I don't know how he did it, but he totally ever come to like, you killed one of us. And by the way, spoiler. And now, oh no, we trust you. You worked for the government. You would never do us bad.
Yeah.
The Serpo scenario, it has been noted, is not unlike the plot of Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
You unoriginal fuck. Now, did Spielberg steal the story from them, or did they steal the story from Spielberg?
Oh no, it's like when they stole it from Spielberg.
This is like when the Chupacabra popped off big right in the wake of Species, and everybody was like, "Especial." It looked like the Species lady. It's like, okay, did you watch Species recently? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
A lot. I love it.
Had nightmares. Natasha Henstridge was in my head all night.
Yeah. Regardless, you guys know my take on Chupacabra. Something is draining these animals of blood. That's my hot take.
If you're familiar with filmmaker Robert Emenegger.
That sounds like a cross between Eminem and Robert Eggers.
Anyway, he claimed that in 1971, he was approached by the Pentagon. I can't pronounce anything correctly.
It's an offshoot of the Pentagon.
Yeah,
it's like the Men in Black, but for the Pentagon. It's like a decoy Pentagon.
The Pentagon approached him to make a film revealing what the government really knows. The Pentagon's big lure was that they would let him, would let him incorporate top secret footage of an alien craft landing at Holloman Air Force Base in 1960 or in the 1960s. However, he never got the footage. He claims to have seen it, but never was able to put it in his hand. It never came tangibly to him. Where am I now? Sorry, these ads on The Guardian are insane. I hope you get your pennies, people. In the cold light of the post-Cold War, the evidence is starting to look pretty shaky for UFOs. However, we know now that apparently the Navy's just been capturing UFO footage and just been quiet about it.
Yeah, I feel like the evidence is stronger than ever.
Indeed. Without going too far into the tragic tale of Paul Benowitz, Richard Doty leads him to kill himself. His family, he becomes a pariah from his friends and family because Richard Doty keeps pushing him into this. You got to keep researching, man. Everything you're doing is correct. You found an alien language. This is crazy. You're the only one who's even got it. We don't know what you know. Here's the parts we know.
That is absolute fucking madness.
Yeah.
What a just mind-blowingly fucked up thing to do to somebody. Feed them half of a puzzle that you know the whole thing about.
Yeah.
Indeed. And Richard Doty's now literally working for Gaia, the cult / UFO / yoga company.
Wow.
He's been on many episodes in Ancient Aliens. He seems to be rising to prominence.
I mean, he's landed on his feet
what he's done.
To understate it.
Indeed. And
Guy is such a massive fucked up thing too.
To be fair, their documentary, The Sounds of Creation, is correct. And it is foolish to listen to music that doesn't attune itself to the number 9.
That's true.
Anyway, that's my segment and little dive into the real Men in Black of the U.S. government.
Wow.
And a little, I guess, flashlight into the darkness that is known as Richard Doty.
Wow, Doty, you
the picture monster. I'm going to use of him is fucking phenomenal. He looks like he's planning evil shit. Also, high as shit.
Nice. Doty, you freak. Okay, cool.
This photograph is entitled, Richard, Can I Call You Dick?
It is hilarious. There's a few times that George Knapp calls him Dick.
And what happens?
That's it.
Please
just switches it from nowhere to Dick.
It goes over great.
Anyway, continue on. I passed the speaking skull to someone else.
Nate, would you like to go next? I can also go next.
Sure, yeah, I'll jump in. And being the speaking skull, it's only right that we have another entry into Cemetery.
Yes.
This time we're talking about the largest cemetery on Earth, Wadi us-Salaam, the Valley of Peace, is what that translates to.
Now that's in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, it's in Najaf, Iraq, Minnesota.
Okay.
It's a little county in the Southwest. This is from an article entitled "Gravediggers Claim Ghosts Haunt World's Largest Cemetery in Iraq." As they would, of course.
Sure, naturally.
For many Shia Muslims across the globe, Wadi us-Salaam, or Valley of Peace, as we've mentioned, the world's largest cemetery, 150 kilometers south of Baghdad, is the most highly coveted final resting place, settled next to the shrine of Imam Ali, the first of 12 Shia Imams.
Okay.
But for the gravediggers who work at the site, among the remains of 5 million Muslims, including those killed in Iraq's successive wars, say the profession can be hazardous.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Here's a quote. One day a shadow sneaked up behind me and hit my head violently, leaving me badly injured.
Well,
wait, which cemetery is this so I can never go there?
Wadi us-Salaam.
Wadi us-Salaam. Can you spell that? No.
Yeah, WADI-US-SALAAM.
Wadi us-Salaam.
I no longer walk straight and feel like the ghost still haunts my body.
Oh no! What? You no longer walk straight? Holy shit!
And the ghost didn't leave.
Okay, now to be fair for the skeptics out there, that is how you would probably remember a mugging. But I mean, I don't know. That's weird. If he seems to believe it was a shadow that attacked him.
Yeah, well, he's a grave digger. I don't know how many grave diggers are carrying, the kind of money or just randomly
Yeah,
mugging
why would you
for?
just like mug a gravedigger unless
Have
you were
you
trying to like
seen-
rob the graves or something? I don't know. That
Have you
still seems
seen those?
excessive.
I guess they're everywhere now, but they're on YouTube, they're on TikTok.
They're called
Fucking
mailboxes. Roger.
Arabic
don't have to
ghost
be afraid.
hunters are always fighting shadow figures. Like the whole
Really?
country
Dude,
is fighting
that
shadow
is-
figures.
Yep. I mean, and
Or
it's
not the
it's
whole country,
very,
the whole region is fighting
Yeah.
shadow figures.
Yeah.
it's very common for Jinn to appear in a shadow form.
There's also a lot of bullshit on TikTok though, so you got to be careful out there.
What?
I refuse to believe it.
I've seen a lot of straight up shadow people on TikTok that's like, you should get a job off of this, but good
Listen.
job.
Paranormal Frankie TV does good work.
P Frank TV. I mean, honestly, maybe that's the thing. It's like maybe it's a question that I ask myself all the time where it's like I am pretty good at spotting what I believe to be a fake. But then again, maybe people are bringing me gallons of proof and I'm just like fake. Shitty.
I fear that too. Where, like I could edit that.
but
I could
that's what
edit
the
that
internet
into
says.
something.
Yeah.
And it's all like, okay, it's still real. I'm glad you
Yeah.
could fake it, but this is
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. For me, honestly, and again, I've said this a bunch, is I feel like the thing that convinces me most often is just people's accounts. People for the most part know what they've seen and have had encounters that seem to have convinced them and have convinced me. And I almost think that ghosts and stuff aren't something that you can photograph. I think it is in some way has to do with our minds. It's like trying to photograph somebody's thoughts.
What about all
Right,
the
it's
times
gotta-
that they've definitely been photographed? In my own in my own like acceptance of the evidence,
Fake.
like in Destination Truth, when they're in Japan, they capture
That's a really good one. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
a
that's a
ghost
good one.
standing up.
Well,
or
and again,
something forming, and
you
then
know, these
seem
things
to
are-
shrinking into the ground.
the exception that proves the rule, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Who knows?
Anyway,
carry on.
That quote was told to Al Jazeera by former gravedigger Haider al-Hatemi, 26, describing an odd creature locally nicknamed Tantal, Bzebze, or Greria.
Nice. My Tantal evolved into a Zebze.
You must have gotten the moonstone.
His parents, in despair, believed shamanic healing sessions would alleviate their son's bizarre ailment.
If only.
Doesn't work out so well.
Hasn't
the
gone
family's-
right. Didn't work out for old what's his name? Andy.
Haider al-Hatemi?
Andy Dick.
No,
Oh, Andy Dick,
the
yes.
man in the moon.
Oh, Andy Daly.
Andy
TV's Andy Daly.
TV's Andy Daly. Go ahead.
But why none of us are pulling it?
It's
Anyway,
okay.
yes.
I'll remember.
I know the
Everyone
answer.
knows.
Why do you watch us drown?
The correct answer was cough person.
Andy Cough Person. Yes. When he
go.
was dying, Andy Kaufman, when he was dying, he went to like some spiritual healers and shit. And spoiler, it worked. He's president. Sorry. Keep going.
The family house was sold off to afford a $30,000 treatment, but more than 2 years later, Hatemi remains unwell. The family lives in poverty in a slum-like area of Najaf City, unable to return to their normal life.
Okay.
Hatemi's wife, terrified by his behavior, has filed for divorce.
Oh,
Gravediggers.
Don't
yeah.
let money get between you.
Well, speaking of,
It was supposed to be about the graves, man.
When we got
Gravediggers-
married, it was about a grave.
gravediggers can earn up to $300 a month, and the profession often runs through family histories. Wadi-Salaam covers about 13% of Najaf. That is huge. 13% of an entire city.
Yeah.
A city considered as sacred by Shia Muslims, land equivalent to this is Al Jazeera, of course, 900 rugby fields.
Okay. Wow. Good.
Jordan,
God.
you're the only one with any type of reference on that.
Me.
How big's a rugby
Jordan,
field?
Jordan, how many dollars does that equal?
No, but like you went to many rugby matches.
No, I was a soft, quiet child of imagination. The loud hooting frightened me. Banners? No, thank you. Surely they would surely they would must see my day wig.
Banners only in my D&D party, please.
When I was a kid, my dad took me to a soccer game, a Super Dons game, which is the Aberdeen team, soccer team, football, and it just didn't take. So I feel like rugby is kind of like free basing soccer.
Yeah, it's definitely the free based form of soccer. You can use your hands in rugby.
Yeah, and only your hands, right? And your hips.
Yeah, you can't use your dick.
And your muscular lips. Combo.
The most worked out part of any hooligan.
That was a combo joke. Okay, carry on.
According to UNESCO, which has placed the cemetery on its tentative list of World Heritage Sites, the Valley of Peace is the only graveyard in the world where the burial process has been continuous for more than 1,400 years.
Shut up. That's awesome.
Ancient ghosts.
Yeah.
Turnover is quite high. Our colleagues run away if the ghost gets involved on an incident, said 23-year-old gravedigger Murtaza Jawad Abu Sabi, who claims to be the victim of an unusual attack that took place in 2013. It happened at night while I was working down in the grave to put a dead woman in her tomb during the funeral ceremony. When I bent down, her hand slapped my face. Slapped my face so fiercely that I was left petrified, Abu Sabi said, wondering how a body well tied up in a sheet could have hit him.
First of all, it doesn't have to be fiercely in that situation for me to be shocked. The corpse could softly slap me in the face and I would be very right.
The medical community reports that slight post-mortem movements can occur in some circumstances as a result of muscular relaxation, followed by their stiffness during rigor mortis.
Yeah, you're not doing karate moves because of relaxation.
Yeah.
No, but like Clerks proved, if you die and your dick's hard, it can stay hard.
Oh God, what an upsetting concept that movie introduced. Clerks was so good. I think this is the second podcast in a row where we've started talking about the oeuvre of Kevin Smith. And Clerks was so good, and the rest of it steadily downhill. You hear me, Kevin? I like your work. I'm sorry.
Quote, I believe this lady was a witch, Abu Sabi's father chipped in. For the next 5 years,
I can see that.
For the next 5 years, Abu Sabi endlessly pictured the scene, sat alone in his bedroom while self-inflicting cigarette burns on his arms.
Okay, that's a sign of you needing some help.
That's exactly what he says. Is I was going crazy, haunted by the traumatizing experience. Following several suicide attempts, the decision was taken to enroll him in psychiatric therapy at the American University Hospital of Beirut, Lebanon, at the cost of $7,000.
Wow.
After years of struggle, only now is Abu Sabi cured, quote unquote cured. I mean, I'm sure he struggles, and married. So, it works out.
Nice. I hope he found someone there. I hope
there's more.
Their best life.
To a ghost. Dang.
Oh.
Yet, caught up in the whirlwind of Iraq's unemployment, the trained gravedigger was left with no option than to return to Wadi us-Salaam, where he earns up to $300 a month in the footsteps of his father and fathers before him. The job is passed on from generation to generation, and we have all heard about Tantal for decades. Hani Abu Khunaim, 61, has been a gravedigger for more than 11 years. That was, Jesus, did you get slapped by a ghost?
Maybe. Sorry, everyone. I insulted the ghost.
Yikes.
A slim, unshaven man who lives in the cemetery. Ghanaim believes the Valley of Peace is inhabited by two types of creatures, a living one and a ghost. I saw it at night, jumping from grave to feed on freshly buried bodies. It excessively resembles a big worm, a little child, and a cat dressed in a large fur coat, said Ghanaim.
This is some jinn shit. Or I mean, maybe that's
Yeah,
the wrong term, but this is a spirit of advanced level.
Truly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. In D&D terms, we're getting into like, what's that one that's like a tiger man that will like capture you in his realm? Dang it. Oh, I'm blowing it. I'm remembering people's names today.
No, it's all right. I don't know this one.
It's Lester. Lester the Tiger Man. What was that? If we come across it, I scream at it to go away. Assistant professor of religion at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, Sahida Halazai. I'm probably mispronouncing
it. Sounds pretty close.
Told Al Jazeera that it is quite common for Muslims, both Sunni and Shia, to believe in otherworldly beings apart from God, angels, of course, and jinn. A class of jinn that are referred to as ghouls dine on the flesh of the living and dead humans, so these jinns are often associated with cemeteries. According to Amir al-Jabori, 23, the manager of a gravediggers unit, this ghost takes possession of burial plots that were illegally resold in the black market by family members seeking easy money. Over recent centuries, the spaces closest to the shrine of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib have become scarce and prices have skyrocketed. A prime location can cost up to $4,000. This is the reason illegally resale plots are haunted, al-Jabori believes. Back at home in Najaf, Haider al-Khatemi explained that the extensive shamanic healing sessions have done nothing. He still believes he's haunted. With tears filling his eyes, he said, "I've lost everything."
Wow.
Dude, that's a very common thing. Ghosts love fucking over young people.
Yeah.
That, without too much spoilers, is the basic plot of Wedding 93.
Whoa, brutal. That's
I mean, some different stuff. There's a wedding, obviously, but just ghost fucking over young people. They love to take that energy, ruin those lives.
Well, they're not even necessarily fucking over young people. Just gravediggers happen to be young people who are unemployed and can still, work through the night shoveling dirt every day in the largest cemetery in the world that's recently been through several major wars.
The aerial view of the cemetery is like, this is the city,
it's insane.
And you go, oh, no, this is the cemetery.
That's the cemetery. I mean, it's
the
truly
next to
it's a necropolis, like for real.
Yes.
And also, don't resell a burial plot.
Yeah.
It's yours forever.
Like
you're asking for something sinister to occur.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, someone was already buried there, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I figure, like, can't I sell my own family burial?
Yeah.
As long as you're not buried there already.
Yeah.
No, I'm not buried there. My uncle is.
Well, I mean, how are you going to get him to move?
You can have him.
Oh, geez. So now he's like,
wait, is that how it happens?
Yeah, that's how the ghouls get there. I feel like there's some protection with the burial rights.
I think that's
and then as soon as you resell it, now there's no protection.
I think
that thing's ready for eating.
I think Nate has a good point of
welcome to the buffet.
Paranormal preparedness here. Respect hallowed ground. And I'm not victim blaming this guy who got attacked. He's a grave digger. Graves need digging.
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. I kind of put this on the ghost. This is maybe he was doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing. Maybe he was whistling. Not supposed to whistle in a graveyard.
Not supposed to whistle in a graveyard.
Maybe, but you got to whistle while you work.
That's as true in the Arab world as
fair enough.
Western world. These are competing ethos, though. Don't whistle in a graveyard. Whistle while you work.
Making gravedigger the worst profession
for whistling inclined people, which I am very much so. All right. Well, is there more to this grim tale, Nate?
No, that's really the
brag.
The look at the hauntings going on.
Gravediggers.
United.
In the largest cemetery on Earth.
Pretty wild. Be careful out there, folks. Okay, so that brings me to my segment, which is actually a crossover with our other separate satellite podcast / segment, which is what do we call it? The weekly weird. The weekly weird.
This week of weird.
This week of weird. I'm doing a this week of weird segment. This didn't actually happen this week, but it happened. A T-wow, if you will. This didn't actually happen this week, but it happened a couple of weeks ago, and we sort of missed it, which I can't believe we did, because I was definitely talking about it within my own family.
We all told you to shut up.
I was shouted down at a brainstorming session. So this is from The Guardian, one of our favorite sources for news around the world, because they see the truth. The Guardian, Le Guardian, says Japan's killing stone splits in two, releasing superstitions amid the sulfur springs. Legend has it there's an
I would have thought that the end of the killing stone would be a good thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, now there will be no more killings. We're all free of the emperor's reign.
Legend has it there's an evil spirit trapped in the Seshoseki stone. Is part of the problem.
I understand. It's a stone to stop the killing.
Yes.
I understand it's some sort of yokai.
Let me tell you a little bit about the Seshoseki stone, as it is known. According to the mythology surrounding the Seshoseki, or killing stone, the object contains the transformed corpse of Tamamo no Mae, a beautiful woman who had been, sorry, I didn't say that right. Let's try it again. Tamamo no Mae. Tamamo no Mai? Tamamo no Mei? I think that's it. Tamamo no Mei.
She sounds beautiful.
A beautiful woman who had been part of a secret plot hatched by a feudal warlord to kill Emperor Toba, who reigned from 1107 to 1123.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. Legend has it that her true identity was an evil nine-tailed fox whose spirit is embedded in the hunk of lava located in an area of Tochigi Prefecture near Tokyo, famous for its sulfurous hot springs.
Wow.
Did they get submerged in lava? Is that how...
Predictions of dark forces being unleashed by an evil vixen hung over social media in Japan on Monday after a famous volcanic rock said to kill anyone who comes into contact with it was found split in two. Its separation into roughly two equal parts, believed to have occurred within the past few days, has spooked online users who noted that, according to folklore, the stone continually spews poisonous gas, hence its name. While the stone was said to have been destroyed and its spirit exorcised by a Buddhist monk who scattered its pieces across Japan, many Japanese prefer to believe that its home is on the slopes of Mount Nasu. That doesn't make sense. So did he break it in the night? Was that what happened?
This priest just went on I gotta break this stone.
Yeah, you can look up pictures of it. It's this great big rock with like a rope tied around it. You know how sometimes there are those prayer ropes?
Mm-hmm. I truly assume the stone broke. I don't know why it broke originally, but we got it broke in halves. And then the priest went in and they go, we have to just smash this farther. I have to then do a Castlevania 2 and separate all these.
Yeah.
And he fucking
Where was the killing stone? I mean, was it just on a mountainside?
Yeah,
people were
it's on a slope.
Don't go check it out.
No, they said, please don't check this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Visitors to the area, a popular sightseeing spot, recoiled in horror at the weekend after witnesses posted photos of the fractured stone, a length of rope that had been secured around its circumference lying on the ground. I feel like I've seen something that shouldn't be seen, one Twitter user said in a post that has attracted 170,000 likes.
Yeah, dude, you went to see the killing stone that is fabled to kill anyone who deals with it. Like,
no, you gotta
why are you going there?
You gotta touch it.
Okay.
You gotta touch
Still, what are you doing going over there?
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
You know, it's like going to the edge of the cliff. You're looking like you're like, oh, this is I'm being very daring, but you're thinking a jump.
You're gazing into the void. You're hoping it looks back.
Yeah, I always think about jumping over the edge at the Grand Canyon.
Oh, me too. I hate it. While others speculated that the demon, that that there's a French term for that, that's like the call of the void or something. While others speculated that the demon spirit of Tamamo no Mei had been resurrected after almost 1,000 years. Local media said cracks had appeared in the rock several years ago, possibly allowing rainwater to seep inside and weaken its structure. The stone, which was registered as a historical site in 1957, was mentioned in Matsuo Basho's seminal work, The Narrow Road to the Deep North, and has inspired a no play, a novel, and an anime film. Masaharu Sugawara, the head of vocal volunteer guide group, told the Yomiuri Shimbun it was a shame the stone had split because it was a symbol of the area, but agreed that nature had simply taken its course, or has it? Local and national government officials will meet to discuss the stone's fate. According to the Shimotsuke Shimbun, the newspaper quoted a Nasu tourism official as saying he would like to see the stone, the Sesho Seki, restored to its original form, presumably with its demonic inhabitants sealed within.
I really want to see video of that meeting. It's like all the people have been like, okay, who's going to go move it? I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah.
They're drawing the short straw to see who's got to pick it up.
Jeez, right?
And then I will put the glue on it, but I'm not going to hold it together.
Does that count? Yeah. What if we use a crane? What if we put gloves on and like I'll do the glue with a long stick?
One of the bullies just pushes the short guy as he falls and his hand hits it. Like, you're already gonna die. Do it. Just do it now.
Because he was afraid. The bully was afraid, guys. But that doesn't make it that, the spirits take no heed. They kill the weak man.
The spirits kill the weak and strong together.
He slipped up. He shouldn't have been close enough to get pushed. Okay, here is, in order to, I think, better understand this tale, we're going to read a little bit about who Tamamo no Mei is before we close down. This is the Wikipedia about Tamamo no Mei. Legendary figure in Japanese mythology. One of the stories explaining the legend comes from the Muromachi period, genre fiction called Otogisoji. In the Otogisoji, Tamamo no Mei was a courtesan under the Japanese Emperor Konoe. Stories of Tamamo no Mei being a legendary fox spirit appeared during the Muromachi period as Otogisoshi. That's kind of prose narratives that often had pictures. It seems. Maybe not? I don't know. And were also mentioned by Toriyama Sekien in Konjaku Hyakushui. Edo period folklore then conflated the legend with similar stories about fox spirits corrupting rulers, blah, blah, blah. In the story told by Hokusai, formed in the Edo period, the nine-tailed fox appeared in China and possessed Daji, a concubine of the Shang dynasty's last ruler, King Zhao. She enchanted the king and brought on a reign of terror that led to a rebellion that ended the Shang dynasty. The fox spirit fled to Magda of Chansu in ancient India and became Lady Kayo, concubine of the crown prince Benzoku. Based on Indian tales of Kalamashpada, the man-eater, wow, causing him to cut off the heads of 1,000 men. It was then defeated again and fled the country. Around 780 BC, the same fox spirit returned to China, was said to have possessed Bao Si, a concubine of Zhao dynasty King Yao. It was again chased away by human military forces. Boy, this is crazy. This feels like I'm reading
this is massively epic.
The fucking the research book from fucking that Stephen King book, the name of which I can't remember the name. Anyway, the fox.
I like quiet. That it's kind of a not even vengeful, just a like a patron saint of violence for sex
chaos.
workers.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. The fox stayed quiet for some time. Then she appeared in Japan as Tamamo no Mei, the most favored courtesan of Emperor Toba. She was said to be a most beautiful and intelligent woman, being able to answer any question asked, which is probably what got her killed in the first place.
That's suspicious. How do you
yeah.
know so much,
Mhm.
woman?
Yeah. What are these books? Who showed you this?
Because I'm making it up.
She caused the emperor to be
She's a second level improv at UCB.
She caused the emperor to be extremely ill and was eventually exposed as a fox spirit by the astrologer Abe no Yasuchika. Abe no Yasuchika. Old Abe. Old honest Abe. Couldn't tell a lie. Who had been called to diagnose the cause of the emperor's poor health. A few years later, and he was like, it's her. Uh-oh. I hope nobody died for this unduly. The emperor sent Kazusa Nosuke and Miura Nosuke to kill the fox in the plains of Nasu. In 1653, Tamamo no Soshi, an addendum was added to the story describing that the spirit of Tamamo no Mei embedded itself into a stone called the Seshoseki. The stone continually released poisonous gas killing everything that touched it. The stone was said to have been destroyed in the Nanbokucho period by the Buddhist monk Geno Shinso, who exorcised the now repentant fox spirit. He held a Buddhist memorial service after the deed, allowing the spirit to finally rest in peace. Okay, so according to this story in 1653, that would make this but a piece of the original Seshoseki. And I think that means that any worries of Tamamo no Mei once again returning to cause havoc across the land are pretty much quelled.
You never know.
You never know, though, do
She
you?
seems like a smart lady who's out to girl boss.
We are in a pretty serious era of chaos.
We are, but this happened, was this a result or a cause thereof? Who knows? Or maybe this is not the Seshoseki after all, and this is just some rock. Either way,
Pretty neat story.
Regardless, it's in half. And whether that was done by rainwater or the ghost of a monk returning on the 1000th anniversary of the first time he had to put this bitch in the ground. Bitch is okay here because she's a lady fox, you see.
They are part of the canine family.
Even though
I would watch that. I would watch that action
vixen.
movie.
Yeah. I think there's a movie called Uma that's coming out that has something to do with a nine-tailed fox. That's a horror movie.
Okay, I'm not adult enough for that. I was hoping buddy comedy, but I'll give it a go.
It looks pretty fucking scary, actually. Margaret Cho, I believe.
Oh, Margaret Cho.
Yeah,
Still
Cho
alive,
bro.
huh?
Yep, Cho bro.
Good for her.
She's leaning into horror, apparently. I'm pumped about it. I'm pumped about that, and I'm pumped about The Cursed. Have you seen trailers for The Cursed?
I have not.
No.
Looks pretty good. Okay, well, I think that does it for another episode. Sandra Oh, not Margaret Cho. Boy, I was way off.
That makes so much more sense.
Thank you. The internet for correcting me.
I can see Margaret
see
Cho
both,
being in
though,
a
straight
horror
up.
movie.
Right.
It
And
was
they
like
rhyme.
pretty campy, maybe,
I'm chalking this one up to just being stupid and not racist mistake. One for me. That's one for me. Until next time, everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Werewolf Radar. We couldn't do this without your continued support. Dark Council members, we love you. We miss you. We want to kiss your many ringed hand at a party and go, thank you, and then disappear in a cloud of shadow and smoke.
If you want to be thanked at a random party this year, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/werewolf radar.
At Patreon. We're actually at Patreon. It's like Patreon, but it's run by Pedro, the guy from Napoleon Dynamite.
He does good. We voted for him.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Anyway,
Yeah.
patreon.com.
Yes.
/Werewolf Radar.
You can get on there and listen to we have some other tidbits that happen every week. We do paranormal news that goes up on YouTube, right, Raj? And
it goes up early for all Patreon members.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Grave Nugget. You guys get that 3 months early. The Grave
Nugget is made for you guys. By the time it gets to everybody else, you guys have sucked all of the flavor off of it.
That's that early access stuff we promise.
Yeah.
It's an ABC nug.
But we do have a YouTube.
Nuggets. We do have a
Subscribe
YouTube.
to that.
We've also got a Twitch. We hang out on Twitch. We play D&D. We play Bigfoot the game. We are about to beat Strahd in our Curse of Strahd campaign. Twitch.tv/werewolf_radar. Every
Dude,
Monday,
the overlay I have for our next game is so awesome. You can see us big. You can see our character names and stats. It's crazy.
Cool. Very, very cool. You should be there too, hanging out with us, getting weird, listening to metal music. Once again, Monday, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. I think that does it. Shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. And until next time, as always, hunt the sky.